Hey everybody, how's it going? Hey, what we want to do today, we're going to dive right into an understanding of what we need to do, the first things we need to do to increase our cash flow, okay? Because what I want to make sure that you understand is the differences between income and cash flow. When you understand the differences, then you understand what the money is that you're creating, how it is going out of your household, what's happening when it comes in, okay, and how we can prevent it from continuing to go out of our household. Generally, what's happening is there's already money that you're using, money that you're paying for bills. What we want to show you how to do is create those and make those into business expenses. So that way, the money that you're already working with, that you're already paying out, can start coming back into your household, okay? Because it only makes sense to income shift and use the money that you need, that you already have, to pay down debt, right? To reduce your expenses, right? So all those types of things so that you can be in a better position to use your money as you see fit for it, okay? And as always, we want to bring you a testimony, and this testimony is by our own Chauncey Reed, Mr. Grand Morning. And then right after this, we're going to dive into the first things that you need to know about increasing your cash flow, all right? Hey, as you can see, this is how everything can change for you. As you see, Mr. and Mrs. Reed, they have a change up to $1,200 in income shifting. That simply means there's no sales. There's nothing that you have to do to a garage sale, or there's no peel, potion, or lotion if that's not something that you really want to do, right? So they had an increase of $1,200 by applying the first strategy. So let's look into the first strategy and see what that is, okay? Now, our first strategy, we have this cash flow management. That's our first solution that you apply. And so, what I want to show you is how that can help you increase your cash flow and how Uncle Sam can actually get you to a place of getting you a jump start of where you want to go. If you want to have increase in credit, if you want to start paying down debt, all those types of things you can do now because you're going to have a jump start by understanding and visiting your W-4 calculator. Okay. And as always, if you missed the beginning, I'm a proud associate of Myecon, and my name is Michael Holmes, and a founder of the Real University. And the Real University just simply stands for Renewing Excellence and Advancing Leadership. Okay, so what we want to do is make sure that you're able to do what you want to do, and we call ourselves the purpose pursuers because once everybody gets in, everybody has a different thing that they want to aim toward. Everybody wants to be has a business idea or a calling. And so what we want to do is we want to jump into the W4 calculator training so that you can see what it is. And what the premise or the start of this is, let's say, for instance, if you are a regular W2 worker, when you started and your human resources came in, you filled out your W4. And what you did was you put in there your allowances, right? The number of dependents, those types of things. And generally we had 0 to 2 allowances on that particular paper. And that's the W4 that we're talking about. And when you are able to adjust that W4, it's when things change in your life, okay? And what we're talking about changing in your life now is a home-based business so that you can have an increase in cash flow. When you decide to have an home-based business, then Uncle Sam says, hey, you are entitled, or you can now use these funds that we were holding back from you. The 30% that they were taking, the difference between your gross and your net, right? They are taking that every pay period. When you become a home-based business owner, now you can actually use that money to pay down debt, to start businesses, to get your credit better, and all kinds of other steps. Okay, so let's jump into that right now, right? And we're gonna look into the process of protecting against having too little tax withheld and facing an unexpected tax bill or penalty at tax time. The average refund is about $3,000. Okay, so just imagine the average making $50,000 a month, a year rather, and they're taking 30% of your check every time, then therefore you're only bringing home 35,000. Okay, so if they're taking about what is that? The 30% of your that's $15,000. If they're taking that from you and you're making 50,000, do you get back $15,000 at the end of the year? Okay, they're taking 30%. Are they giving back 30%? Okay, so that's what you got to look at. You worked for the full dollar, so why aren't you having the return of that full dollar? All right, let's jump into it. Now, Myecon does not guarantee you will receive an increase in your check by adjusting your W-4 form, but it is the best place to start. And generally, we have seen on the average that most do, but we cannot guarantee that, okay? Now, results will be varied based on your individuals or the unique financial situation that we have, all right? So let's look at the family status here. So married filing jointly. We're talking about a $100,000 household. The husband brings in 40,000, the wife brings in 60,000. So jointly, they're bringing in $100,000 for their household. They got 3 dependents, and they're spending about $6,800 in child care. Okay, so that's where we have our start with the Johnson family. Okay, so you can kind of see where you can fit, where your income fits in between here, right? So Robert Johnson, Annie Johnson, these are the information. This is the information that you will need when you get ready to do your W-4 calculator. You're going to go back and you're going to look into your check stubs. And you can see here, there are differences between the gross and the net, okay? So that's what you see here. The current total is 1,666, net pay 1,300. So you can see a difference in $310 there, okay? And that's comprised of these different things. What we're focused on is the federal income tax, right? And see here, there's another current deductions of 522. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, our tax withholding estimator. How can you find that? You simply Google W4 calculator into the search bar. Okay, and then it'll come up and you'll see this one here in the middle, tax withholding estimator. And you're also looking for the .gov, okay, because there's different ones out there and they may even charge you. I'm not even sure, but you want to make sure that you find this one at the .gov site, okay, because you want to see, are you overpaying, and how much are you overpaying, and what should you be doing about that, okay? Now, when you have your tax withholding estimator, you're going to pull up and you're going to see the first page here, right? And then you'll click at the bottom, use the tax withholding estimator, okay? Because what you want to do is you want to go through here and see and read the laws and the changes, right, for the taxpayers who itemize, right? You want to read this before you begin, all right? Don't take it, upon anything that I've said or anything like that, because I am not, this is my disclaimer. I am not a CPA or anything like that. This is an educational purposes only. Okay, so read those so you can see and be better prepared, because this is your finances. Okay, so now when you want to get to the first step, if you click that, you want to remember here in this situation, the Johnsons are filing jointly. You also want to make sure, because I've had this come up several times when I've prepared taxes before. Somebody's tried to do their dependent and somebody else was claiming them. So you got to make sure everything's in place and everything is good for you. Okay. So here, your filing status, married, filing jointly. Very simple steps. Just file and answer the questions according to your situation. Okay. So the Johnsons will be claiming the 3 children as dependents on the tax return, and both of them have a job and have federal income taxes being withheld. Okay, and both expect to hold on to one job each, and they don't have any pensions. Okay, so we just want to make sure this is real straightforward and crisp and clean. Okay, so now, do you plan on claiming any dependents? Yes, yes, and no here. Okay, and this is their particular situation. Answer it according to yours, right? Then the second, 3 out of 5, do you or your spouse hold a job with regular paychecks? Okay, and we've said on the left there what we were answering, right? So now the tax withholding estimator continues with the 5 questions. So it's very simple here, right? Johnsons do not have any other sources of income or tax payments, and the Johnsons do not fit any of the demographics listed below, right? So the question is, are the sources of income and tax payments? No, they don't. They don't meet those. Okay. There we go. And then the demographics, will you be older than 65? So it's several of those down there that you have to see if that applies to you. All right. Now, what we want to do is we continue. It talks about your income and how much you're going to be withholding, right? So this is what we're talking about on your W-4, where we were saying that you had 0 to 2 or 3 allowances, those types of things, or so that's what we were looking for, your withholdings, right? So as it says here, Mr. Johnson plans to hold his job the entire year. Mr. Johnson is paid twice monthly. Mr. Johnson's most recent pay period ended in 1/1/2020. Okay. And so it depends on when you're watching this video, right? So you want to look at that accordingly, because it could be, I don't know what year it is when you're watching this, right? So this is what they had to answer accordingly to what was already going on with Mr. Johnson. Now, you want to do the same with you. You want to see, okay, what's going on. And this is a video. So, if you say, hey, what happened? You can always pause and look at this, take good notes, and see, how your steps and what you need to be prepared for. Okay. So now, Mr. Johnson earns $40,000 per year. He does not expect any bonuses. And Mr. Johnson has paid $105 year to date. He has paid $105 in federal taxes. Okay. From last check, Mr. Johnson has paid $105 in federal taxes. Now, Mr. Johnson does not contribute to a 401k or other cafeteria plan. All right. So you have to answer those according to how your particular situation is, right? But this is what to expect. Okay. Mrs. Johnson expects to have her job all year. She gets paid twice monthly. Her most recent pay stub period ended 1/1/20. She earns $60,000 a year and does not expect any bonuses. Okay, so same thing that we had on the previous screen, same thing that we answered for the spouse. Okay, year to date, Mrs. Johnson is paid $205 in federal taxes. And from last check, the same amount. Okay. Does not plan on contributing to the 401k or other plans. Okay. So we answer those and click next. Now, the adjustments to your income. The Johnson family doesn't know, so they opt to see adjustments. Okay. The Johnsons do not have student loans, educator expenses, or IRAs. Okay. So you want to click those just if that applies to you. Okay. And so if you don't know, you want to see your adjustments. Okay. And then what comes up is these down here. And then you answer the questions about the adjustments. Okay. Now, the Johnsons do not have health savings, account deduction, moving expenses, alimony paid, penalties for early withdrawals, or business credits. Okay, they don't have any adjustments to any other income. Right. So once you find that out and you answer those questions, okay, then you move on to next. Now you got your deductions from your income, okay? And what we want to do is, do they qualify? The Johnsons qualify for a standard deduction of 24,800. The Johnson family does not have more than 24,800 in itemized deductions. What that means is that, hey, the standard deduction says that, hey, you're going to get 24,800 in deductions according to what you put in, right? And so what we're teaching is to make sure that your lifestyle deductions, and what are those? Those are the already money that we were talking about, the stuff that you're already paying for in bills. We're talking about your internet service. We're talking about cell phone. We're talking about some forms of travel and eating, okay? So all those things, mortgage, about parts of your mortgage. So all those things and mileage, if I didn't mention that. So when you add those deductions up, do they come over what you have qualified as a standard deduction? So if they did not have more than 24,800 in those types of write-offs, then they will use, guess what? The standard deduction that they have been qualified for. Okay. Now, tax credits. The Johnsons qualify for tax credits for their dependents. Tax credits, they subtract directly from your tax obligation, from what you would have to pay. Okay. So you would click see tax credits. The Johnsons have 3 children under 17. And the Johnsons have 3 children that qualify for child care tax credit. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to see how that applies to you when you get here. Okay. So you see how it applies to the Johnsons because of their different things that they have according to their finances and their household. Okay. So you want to take care of your tax credits and click tax credits and see if any of those apply to you. Okay. Now, what you want to do, you want to see what your into your child care, if there's any child care. Okay. The Johnsons pay 6,800 in child care. The Johnsons do not qualify for earned income tax credit. They make too much income, right? The Johnsons do not have foreign tax credit, educational, retirement savings, or homeowner credits. So you have to look into that and see if those apply, any of those apply to you and your family situation, or the people that are within your organization as you're teaching them as well. Okay. Now, the Johnsons do not qualify for elderly or disabled business or alternative minimum tax or energy efficient vehicle credits, right? And then you may, so you need to look at those as well. And you'll click next on that. Okay. The results will show if you owe or receive a refund, right? Because the thing is, no matter what if you are uninformed, if you don't know what's actually happening, then you automatically just turn over, the money that you work for. Okay. And then you're dependent upon whether or not they're going to return a portion or all of that. Okay. So what we need to do is be able to use that, because now you have a home-based business and you don't have to worry about owing, because you're going to have enough write-offs. You're going to have enough deductions to combat the being able to having to pay back Uncle Sam. Okay. So you have to get your the cash flow under control, because the biggest bill that we have is the 30% that is taken from us before we even recognize it. But what would happen if you automatically had a 30% raise, right? Wouldn't things change a little bit? Couldn't you get out of debt? Can you maneuver a little bit better? Can you start an emergency fund? Okay, those types of things. Can you have better credit? Okay, so now we want to see what it is. What is it that we can do about this particular situation? The Johnsons will have a tax obligation of $1,432. The Johnsons will pay $7,440 in taxes and overpay. See, they overpay by $6,008. Okay, they're overpaying their tax, meaning they're sending $6,008 according to what they put in so far that they don't have to send in. So they could use that $6,000 for themselves. Wouldn't you? Couldn't you? Now, the Johnsons learned about the advantages of a home-based business, and they decided to get started with Myecon. Okay, because now you are having lifestyle write-offs, your home-based business tax deductions, money that you already have, that you're already sending out of your household. Now you can get a portion of that starts to come back. The Johnsons clicked on the adjustments to the income link. The Johnsons estimate they will have 5,000 in Schedule C business losses. Okay, that's money that has been used for business. Okay, it's money that it's quote unquote business loss. Okay, now the Johnsons click on the results tab after making the change to the adjustments in the income to see what changes have occurred, if any. Okay, now by starting a home-based business, the Johnsons now have a tax obligation of $832. Okay, the Johnsons picked up an extra $600 by learning how to write off the business expenses. Okay, an extra $6,000 rather. Okay, so what you want to see is how did that change for them? Okay, if you at one point in time had to write out a bill for $6,000, now you don't have to. How does that change things for you? Okay, now you can understand how you can go forward. Okay, the Johnsons learn about the advantages of investing and decide to invest 3,500 each into their 401k. Remember, because before they did not plan on contributing anything there, right? Because maybe they just didn't have it, right? So now they're saying, now, hey, I'm going to contribute portion of that gain back into my future lifestyle. Not just my current lifestyle, but my future lifestyle, the assets that I need to have a better lifestyle when I retire. Okay. So now the Johnsons click on the income and withholding link. Mr. Johnson changes his answer and contributes $3,500 to his 401k. Mrs. Johnson changes her answer and contributes $3,500 to her 401k. Okay, now things are changing. Not only did we see that we were overpaying, but now we have extra money to put into investments. Okay, the Johnsons click on the results tab after making the change to their adjustments and to their income and to see what changes have occurred, if any. Now, by investing into their 401k, the Johnsons have now wiped out totally the tax obligation. Remember, it was $6,600 that it was going to have to come out of their pocket. Majority of Americans can't put their hands on $1,000. That's what the statistics say, over 75%. So now with a bill of $6,000 wiped out, there's a freedom there. There are options there, okay? A family of five with a household income of $100,000 have eliminated their tax obligation with income shifting strategies. Let me say that again because I kind of messed it and muddled it up. A family of five with a household income of $100,000 has eliminated their tax obligation. Okay, so now they're creating income. They're using the income from the jobs that they have to not only take care of the current lifestyle, but they're actually doing better with their investing in their future lifestyle. Okay, the Johnson family scrolls down where the estimator asks if they wish to receive a tax refund, which is to overpay in your taxes. Because a refund is just a refund, right? Again, fund, money, your money again. The Johnson family does not wish to overpay in taxes. They want to use their money now. They move the slider to zero so that they can receive instructions on how to adjust their withholding. Okay, so now they're understanding. They have financial education. They have the knowledge and they're applying it. So now it is what? Wisdom, right? Once the slider is slid to zero, instructions appear. The Johnsons read the instructions just like you will, right? Below the instructions are downloadable pre-filled Form W-4s. They download the forms, enter their personal information, sign and submit to their human resource department. Okay, they sign them and submit to the HR. Okay, so that is how simple and easy the process is. And that's what you want to do with the things that you're with your income, with your possibilities of the income that you have, right? You want to make sure that you have reduced or possibly eliminate your tax obligation. Okay, and we're going to leave with this. And this is Terrence Hill. He has cash flowed over $750,000, him and his family, by using these strategies and not sales. Okay, you see, that was cash flowed, not income. The taxes they were once going to pay, they were able to save and shift that income into their current and future lifestyles. Okay, so now that's income shifted. So that's what it means when Terrence says he has cash flowed over $750,000. Right, so take a listen to this.
I'm super excited about Myecon because of the freedom, the flexibility that it allowed for me and before Myecon, I was in the military and we had more month than we had money. After applying the strategies and using the system, we've been able to cash flow up to $700,000. I have retired without having to get a retirement job, and my wife is on the same path to retire within the next 2 years, so we could just live our life on purpose and with our kids. That's why I'm excited about Myecon.
So, guys, as you can see, as we wrap this up, I just want to leave that with you. If you have any questions about how to get this done, or you want to start getting your things done, you can definitely just rewind this, and that'll answer all the questions that you have. But if you really want to get your finances in control, and you want to learn how to income shift so that you can reduce your tax obligation or eliminate your tax obligation, then what you can do is just simply leave me a message here, or reach back to the individual that showed you this message on adjusting your W-4. And guys, we'll be more than happy to help you with the situation that you have, whether personal or business. So until the next time, I'll see you on the other side of purpose. Come up out of your comfort zone, because this is too easy on this side. Talk to you soon.